You can craft 720 item level gear, which is going to put you around the mythic track. Not only that, you can also plug in some missing pieces to be able to hit the LFR breakpoint using items exclusively from world content. Let's get into it. Let's start with the craft that we all need to do to upgrade the gem slot on our Reshi wraps. For the upgrade slot item, you're going to need to use the work order system. Head over to this location in Dornegal. First thing you want to do is go ahead and search for fiber on the search bar. Each one of these is going to be for one of the secondary stats you can get for the upgrade. I'm going to need to get one for haste. So I'm looking for pure chromatic fiber. I'm going to select chromatic fiber and then I'm going to track that recipe. You can click this checkbox over here and it's going to put it over on the right hand side where you can actually see what items you need. And let's head on over to the auction house. Now, as a highly suggested step, but not necessarily mandatory, you should get this add-on called Auctionator. Auctionator is going to make auction house browsing a lot easier by the fact that it puts this search bar up here. Just clicking this one button, it's going to pull up all of the items that are relevant to this recipe and then list them all out right here. This will make it easy for you to be able to compare the prices. In this case, that doesn't really matter. We can get the lowest quality of everything because this item does not have a quality attached to it. So the quality of the reagents is not going to impact the overall product. Also indicates the quantity for you. You just click the button and it shows you how much you need. Very nice add-on there. Now let's head back to that work order station and we're going to go back and look for our fiber again. Just search for the same one you're using before. As we were talking about before, this does not have a quality attached to it, so we can go ahead and do this as a public order. Its crafter skill is not going to impact this. This would be different if we were talking about a spark item. Go ahead and set a fair commission and send it off. This next craft can be used to give yourself a little bit of a bump at the start of the season. It's up to 675 just by using world quest items, and only 30 of them at that. All you need to do is to head over to Lalande over next to the enchanting trainer. You can find her here on your map, and you can buy an enchanted weathered ethereal crest for only 30 weathered crests. After buying one of those, you can head on over to the crafting order station. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my shield. So just sub in whatever the armor slot is that you're trying to make, and you can filter here for upgrades only. Keep in mind that the purple items, they're all going to require a spark. We're looking for the blue item here, and at this point, we're able to provide the reagents we need and also the optional reagents. Keep in mind, you can provide a missive to guarantee what stats you're going to get on it. And then also you can provide an embellishment if you want. But here's the interesting part. You can see right now it's a 545 shield, and then supplying it with the enchanted weathered ethereal crest bumps it all the way up to a 662. And then if we make this a personal order with the max quality, you can see we end up with a 675 item. Now for the spark items that can go all the way up to a 720 item level, you do need to have a spark, obviously. Let's go over first how you can make the base level 691 version and then how we can upgrade it to a 720. But first, let's get the spark. To complete at least one of your weekly activities. These are going to be your pinnacle caches. So if you head over to this location, keep in mind this can also come from the delve quest as well, if there is one for that week. Now we already have 2 fragments, so we can actually craft 1 spark right now. If we stop over at Lalande and take a look, we can get a runed ethereal crest for 45 runed crests. And then if we wanted to get an enchanted gilded ethereal crest, then we could get that for 60 gilded ethereal crests. And as you can see, based on this tooltip, that's going to take it all the way up to a 720. Runed and gilded crests can be earned in solo and group content. Just make sure you don't spend your gilded crests before you buy your enchanted gilded ethereal crest. Now, getting these crests is a lot easier this season. If you take a look at the Mythic Plus table posted on screen, you can see you start getting runed crests starting at +2. Not only that, it's way more forgiving. Now, when you don't time a key, you're only going to deduct 4 crests from the total that you loot at the end. That means starting on a +2, you would get 6 on a failed run, and then 14 on a failed run on a 6, with gilded starting this time on a +7, which is a much lower mark than it was in the past. Now keep in mind there are solo ways of getting gilded crests. The delve system is going to allow you to earn up to 31 each week, with 21 coming from the 311s you do each week, and then also 10 from the Bountiful Delve map. For now, since we don't have enough of those gilded or runed crests to buy one of those higher upgrades, we're just going to make a base level item, and then we'll upgrade that item to 720. Say we wanted to make a one-handed axe, and any of the purple items that do require a spark are going to work for that. So we're going to click on the charge slicer, put in our spark of Starlight, and then at that point you can see that we're starting at an item level of 675. 678. Again, if we craft this at a higher level, we go up to 691. Now, of course, when it comes to crafting your spark items, I always recommend to use emissive to guarantee the stats that you're looking for. You can recraft these at higher levels once you do unlock those crests I talked about before. Just to show you how that recraft is going to work when you eventually earn the higher level of enchanted crest that you want to add, you're just going to start a recrafting order, select the item, and then you can go down at the bottom to the optional reagents and you can change what crest you have connected to it. You can see this one has the gilded on it from last season, and you would never want to do this, but I could even sub it out for the runed version of that enchanted crest like this, and then I could recraft it to get the new item level of item. Now notice this is going to actually take it down because it's a lesser crest, but you're ideally going to do the opposite, where you're going to take it from a runed into a gilded, where you would just attach the new level there. Keep in mind, you're going to want to do this as a personal order, and the way personal orders work is that you're just going to find a person that can craft the item to the quality that you want by spamming trade chat, and then you'll just type in their character's name right there, and then you'll send it directly to them. Make sure you set the minimum quality for what you're expecting to see, and it actually won't let them create it unless they can hit that quality. Keep in mind they might have to use their concentration for this, so you might want to tip them a little bit extra, especially at the early part of the season where they're kind of stretching to hit those breakpoints. You don't need to craft items that you already have from Season 2 again in Season 3. So I have this sword from Season 2, as I mentioned before. I can recraft this as a Season 3 sword by just subbing in my Spark of Starlight. You can change that out, and then that's going to save you a lot when it comes to paying for those reagents. You keep your augments, you keep your missive, but you do get the opportunity to change out that augment or missive if things change from Season 2 to Season 3 as far as what stats you need or what augments are good for your class. So just to fully show you what it's going to look like eventually when you are ready to make your upgraded gilded level item, make sure that you just attach the right spark. So we're going to be Spark of Starlight, and then also down here you can right click off if you do have a previous season's crest still applied to it. Right click, it'll go away, and you can go ahead and select your Enchanted Gilded Ethereal Crest from here, and just make sure you set it to max quality, and then you will get a 720 back when you find a crafter that's capable of making that for you. Some of you are going to be able to get that in the first week from the Mythic Plus system, depending on how fast you move through the system, but again, it is a lot easier this season with having a lower level dungeon awarding gilded. Also have a guide in the description going over the highlights of this week. What are the things we want to make sure we get done, and what things do we not have to really worry about? If the video did help you out today, please folks strike that like button. If you want to stay tuned for more WoW content in the future, please bash the subscribe. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.